with another Legacy video playing Turbo Doomsday. So, I've been playing this deck quite a bit recently and having some decent results, and been talking to my good pal Kai Sawatari about the list and where we want to go and how we could, if there's any way we can optimize. And Kai suggested something that I found really interesting was, do we even need more than one Lotus Petal? We'd been both been running two for quite a bit and three Cabal Rituals, and Cabal Ritual is just a lot better with the basic island than Lotus Petal is in terms of getting Doomsday onto the stack. And Kai suggested adding Night's Whisper. This is a card that I've played it on and off for, I think, as long as I've played the deck. Mostly not played it, but every now and again uh, brought it in. It's certainly a decent card, but I think in a world with more Delver, I might not want be so hot on it, but because of the life loss. But Delver is definitely on a wane right now, and I think Night's Whisper also has some good synergies with Cabal Ritual, where like if you're deep enough to have a threshold, you could like Cabal Ritual Doomsday, and then if you have a cycler, you can cycle into Night's Whisper, for instance, and get like LED plus another cycler. But also, I think more importantly, it's worth mentioning that ever since we stopped playing Ideas Unbound, Lotus Petal is much less of a must-have, um, because the win same turn pile with Considered just doesn't use Lotus Petal at all. Only in the sense that if our hand is Brainstorm, Blank, and Cycler, and no mana post Doomsday, we would like the one petal to put that as the top card in the pile to cycle into that and get the Considered pile going with the Brainstorm. So I don't think going down to zero petals makes sense. We want the one. Now, what are the opportunity costs, I suppose, of not playing Ideas Unbound and not playing a second petal or even a third petal? Well, I think it means that we have less maneuverability in sort of corner case situations, and especially in like longer games, we are worse off because if you get to a point where it's like late in the game or whatever, or it doesn't even have to be late in the game, but where you're kind of a little bit choked on mana, but and maybe LED is off the table, but if you were able to like cast a Brainstorm and draw a Petal Petal, you made your land drop, so you need to draw like Petal Petal Thassa, put back two dead cards. I mean that kind of play is not available to us. But I've been generally pretty happy with it. I think my biggest like skepticism right now is actually over the second Oracle. I find it comes up quite rarely that I need to build a pile with two Oracles. It comes up quite often that I feel like siding out the second copy for post board games. Like versus Delver, I don't want it. Versus um, like Stompy decks, I don't want it. Versus Initiative, I don't really want it. Maybe I'm just sort of not appraising it correctly. I do get that you can pitch cast the one, but I mean I don't think that's enough of a reason. But I will sort of recognize that I might need to get some more reps in before like really appreciating building slow piles that can like win over multiple turns, resolving multiple Thassas. But I think like even versus endurance decks, I would rather post board have a relic, and once I have the relic, I don't feel like I need or even want to have a pile that has two oracles in it. Um, but yeah, and I'm really high on the grief. I really am considering if there shouldn't be like a second copy. I think as it is, it often becomes like a pile card that you just see it whenever you need it for a doomsday pile, but you don't see it that often in just like open play, so to speak. And I have had like one or two instances where like grief being grief and not being like a duress meant that I was able to put doomsday on the stack a turn earlier, and that's just like really boss. All right, so in terms of the sideboard, I've been seeing quite a few Thalia decks recently, like Death and Taxes with or without Yorion. So and while I do think that traditionally, like Death and Taxes is a pretty fantastic matchup for Doomsday, so we should be able to win even without Massacre. But I have run into some issues a couple of times where you win game one, yeah, you lose game two because whatever they get like uh, one turn ahead and resolve threats and lock you out. And then for game three, you kind of have to like I often found myself in positions, and by often I mean the couple of times it's come up lately, where like in game three I'm able to put Doomsday, I'm able to resolve a Doomsday, but I'm not able to survive for long enough to win because they have like Rashad and Port and a couple of knuckleheads that makes it so I can't actually win for a few turns, and my left field is under too much pressure. Where like having Massacre just is gonna buy the time needed. If I was splashing white, I think Massacre would become Terminus, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Also, I shaved a Shouldered. I just don't think there's enough Delver. Um, I considered like replacing Shouldered completely with cards that are better versus control. I don't think Shouldered should ever come in versus like Source to Plowshare decks. I think that like I don't mind bringing in Dothy Voidwalker as much versus Plow decks because Voidwalker is a smaller investment. A lot of the time you'll be two for oneing yourself to get shouldered out and like going Dark Ritual shouldered and having her eat a plow is I think just a really big cost. But I'm keeping two for now. She is still like probably the best thing we can be doing versus Delver on early turns, and she is like randomly absolutely devastating versus like blue combo decks. And whenever like there's bug, there's been this bug deck. I hear people calling it bug scam or whatever, but like bug decks can't really very often remove shoulder very effectively. So like resolve her versus them, and that's a really big game. And also like 8 cast, I suppose. Yeah, and the rest is I think business as usual. Have the relic to bring in versus endurance decks. I hope I get to show this. It's like it's been really been impressing me. Have the mystical dispute and Sheldog Isle Emrakul package versus control decks. I probably bring in Dothy as well, especially if they're on green with Uro. And also like Dothy has been really good. Like you get to discard a Minsc and Boo and go to town or whatever. Even like take their like you days or force their Teferi, and then you have a Teferi, which is really great. All right, well, enough of that. Let's go play League. All right, on the play for round number one. Uh, this is. I think this is actually a mulligan. Is it though? Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan this and probably get no lands here. Oh, never mind. Much better. All right. So let's put back Thassa and let's cast Dark Ritual here. I'm gonna if Dark Ritual resolves, I'm gonna Thoughtseize, and then I'm gonna probably Cabal Ritual and Doomsday. So let's see here how much trouble we or our opponent is in. Okay, interesting. Well, good news is they don't have Wasteland and they don't have um, like a threat right now. Double days, yeah, whatever. Uh, Hopefully it won't matter. But so we're gonna take Force of Will here, and I don't know. This looks like Volcanic Island at Underground Sea probably means it's not like a shadow deck. All right, so we want Cavern of Souls and we want Thassa. And I think we want like Snow Covered Island and a fetch land and maybe another land. Because the thing is, if we don't get a third land or I suppose the petal, we open ourselves up to like losing to one wasteland. So what happens if I put another underground sea? That's 5. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. It's like we have to make 3 land drops this way. So how about this? How about instead of the Underground Sea, make it a Lotus Petal? Wait. Oh, hang on. What am I saying? We don't lose to 1 wasteland. Um, we lose to 2 wastelands, but then probably not even. Hang on. What am I even saying here? I'm not talking sense. We don't need the petal. We need to probably not have our deck shuffled prematurely and risk drawing Thassa too early and then them having like a Thoughtseize or something or a hymn. So how does this work? So we put like Snow-Covered Island on the bottom. Then we want to draw the Misty Rainforest, play it out. Probably cast Ponder, drawing Edge of Autumn. And then the deck is Cavern Thassa. So we can Edge of Autumn, like if they Thoughtseize, we can Edge of Autumn into the Cavern. And then on our last draw step, we'll draw Thassa, and we'll be able to fetch the Snow-Covered Island. I think this is the play. So we put Snow-Covered Island on the bottom, Thassa to not have it Thoughtseized. We go like this. Now they can daze the Ponder here. Let's say that they just play a land and pass, or play a land and cast Ponder or something. And we play Misty and cast Ponder, our Ponder, then it's an open question whether or not they're going to daze. Okay, so there is Volk, and they drew a creature, so that was good for them. This way they may be able to kill us if they get lucky with their surveils and like get Delirious plus Bolt. But they would need, yeah, I don't know. If they daze here, I just pay for the daze because then I only have 3 cards left in the deck and I get to order the deck the way I want anyways. So it should be all good. They can't hymn us now. They can't. They couldn't even before because it was a volcanic that they played. Okay. So, and they kept the card on top by the looks of it. So that might mean it's a wasteland. And obviously, I'm not playing around anything really gnarly like a Stifle or something. So let's see here. So let's Thassa on the bottom, then Cavern. I can't get Thoughtseized. So we draw the Edge, and if they Thoughtseizes next turn, like I'm betting that it's either a Thoughtseize or a Wasteland that's on top of their deck. Unless they have like Stifler or some spoiler. And then, like, in either case, I think we have it beat. Okay. Underground Sea. Underground Sea Brainstorm. Okay. So I don't think they can do anything to us now. They put Daze into the... Oh, no, never mind. They kept it on top. All right. They go to combat here. Not sure what they could have. So let's just make them have nothing here. Let's choose Merfolk. And I'm gonna cycle sacking the Cavern. Boom. They could have Subtlety. Wow, that would have gotten me. All right, cool. There we go. All right, onto the sideboard. So here is where our 2 Sheoldreds come in, and possibly Voidwalker. Like I normally don't think I would really consider Voidwalker for Delver, but some number of their removal spells are Snuff Outs, which can't target Voidwalker. If they play the full set of bolts, then I suppose it doesn't matter. So let's see how much we actually want to bring out. So I want to bring out 1 Thassa. Speaking of what we were talking about before, I really don't like Personal Tutor against like the heavy counterspell deck. Is there a third card? Yeah, I think probably Night's Whisper is a little bit too ambitious. So I think I probably try this. Yeah, what I really also like about Voidwalker is just the I touched upon it briefly, but like the low investment. So this hand, like if we just draw lands or counterspells, it's a pathetic hand. But if we draw like a Sheoldred or a Voidwalker or a Doomsday, and we can fetch for basics, which I like, so I'm gonna keep, but I'm not completely thrilled. Dragon Trace Channeler, sure. Well, there you go. More mana. That's not what we want. Yep, they have Brainstorm, just gonna always yield to the Surveil, and they put a Badlands into the graveyard. So if they like Thoughtseize us here, I'm not gonna do anything about that. I'm just gonna let it resolve. I would imagine they take Dark Ritual or Daze, but yeah, I don't know. More cantrips, okay. And they're like not fetching into black. Maybe the black is just there for snuff out. Oh, Maddening Hex. So they're going for Delirium. That makes sense. So they're gonna have it once this Preordain is done resolving. They have instant land, enchantment, and sorcery, and we start taking real damage. So do kind of need something to happen. I think if we draw Shieldred right now, but we only have 2 copies. Well, come on then. Yeah, why not draw more mana? The one thing I ask not to draw. Come on, deck. What you doing to me? So good news is Shieldred will at least guaranteed resolve if we were to get it. Problem is now like Dothy is just like a bit pitiful if we draw it now. Oh, and they have one more. Yikes! Now I'm not even sure a Shieldred does it. Maybe. Come on. Well, I mean, we could also draw a Doomsday and win. Do I want to go to discard? I don't think I can afford. Yeah, actually, maybe I'll go to discard and discard the Cabal Ritual over exposing my Cavern to Wasteland. So let's see. We go to 8 with their attack. We then go to 3 if we Doomsday. Oh, sorry, 8, then 6 from the 2 fetches, then 3 if we go to Doomsday. So Edge of Odd. Oh, sorry, Street Wraith is somewhat off. We could Street Wraith once, but then our force is off. Yeah, not looking too good here. This Daze is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting if we can even find a Doomsday. But if we can, then, I mean, the Edge of Autumns, it's really good we have both of them. Looks like we aren't going to be able to just rely on Daze here. I'm going to fetch to Thin because this is the last time I get to do anything anyways, and might as well, like, we need Doomsday here, exactly, Doomsday. And I'm going to cycle this Edge of Autumn. Maybe there's a world in which we draw exactly Doomsday off of this. We don't. Alright, I think me showing them I have Grief is worth me learning what's in their hand. Just on the way out here. Lightning Bolt, sure. Add Bolt. That's fine. I mean, I'll force a second Bolt just to be able to see their hand rather than not see it, because that's kind of why I'm doing this. Double force. Okay, sure. Alright. So do I do anything different here? The Dothies were kind of weak because our opponent had pretty much exactly what they had. Which means like an early Dragon Trace Channeler. I think I'm still sort of okay with like not having double personal tour, like having 2 extra personal tours. So I think this is fine. How many blue cards are we at? We're at like 4, 8, 12, 14, 16, 17, including the Thassa. That's really not a lot. Let's see here. Yeah, speaking of which, no blue mana. Oh, sorry, no second blue card. Do I mulligan this? Like, the force right now is effectively like I'm at 6 cards. And, like, are these 6 cards worth keeping? 2 cyclers, a discard spell. I think I'm going to mulligan. I think we could do better. Yeah, okay. This, I'm going to keep this. They also mulligan to 6. I'm going to put away the Street Wraith, I think. And I'm going to hope they aren't sitting on, like, a Lightning Bolt here. It's a lot of things we have to hope for. Like, a Daze. Daze off of them is bad if they have untapped mana. If not, it's okay. If they have Wasteland, it's pretty bad. No Wasteland. Dragon's Rage Chandler. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, if the Voidwalker resolves, then at least Dragon's Rage Chandler is not getting Delirious until they remove the Voidwalker. Oh, double Daze. That's actually pretty good. I'm actually pretty fine with that. I guess if they go Landra Bolt, I have to double Daze and then still lose to their Daze, which I don't think they They would have dazed if they had it here, for sure. Well, I guess we're put to the test here. So I think they would have cast daze last turn on the Voidwalker, but maybe not. Maybe if they have like, because they have the bolt, they think, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Okay. So Voidwalker survives. They don't attack. Maybe they forgot that it has Shadow, so it can't block them. This is fine by me. This could end up like going down to the wire. And they actually, what happened here? I'm just checking their surveil. So they put Scalding Tarn into the graveyard. Okay, so they're drawing a fresh card here. How about not drawing Lightning Bolt? Bobble, surveil. What does that do? Put Underground Sea into their graveyard. Brainstorm. Okay, so there's a Brainstorm in the void. They probably have like, they put a DRC into the void. I still think I want my Voidwalker in play over them, over like getting a DRC, but it is kind of fun to see all these things we could steal. If they bolt here, I think I let it happen and then draw for the turn and get a good brainstorm with my fetch land rather than brainstorming in response. Like I don't have any more dazes anyways. Another bauble. I suppose they're gonna surveil something into the graveyard or into the exile. If they ever get like Maddening Hex, I'd be really tempted to steal that. So they're bobbling us. Yeah, they should be attacking here. They might like. They know what they're drawing, right? Because they brainstormed and then they surveilled one thing into the graveyard. Ponder is not bad. So they could easily have like a Pyroblast here, but I don't hate the cards in my hand, and then I would get Ponder, I suppose. Yeah, yeah, get away the big whale. Okay, I am gonna Ponder here into a potential daze. I don't think they have it. They could have. They've been seeing quite a few cards here. Street Wraith. You know what? I think Street Wraith is actually really good. So I'll have 5 cards in the graveyard. Then 5 Duress becomes 6. Thoughtseize 7. So we're like we can't make Street Wraith the next turn, but the turn after that. So I think maybe that's fine. It is a bit dicey, perhaps. So they see Thoughtseize. So they know not to keep like a super scary card for them. Like if let's say they have Maddening Hex in their hand, they would probably want to play that one out. They'd do that anyways. Doesn't getting their attack. Ugh. So they are like pretty far. They put Daze into the graveyard. Okay, cool. They are pretty far away, like pretty far into their deck. They've seen 1 Lightning Bolt, so they are kind of due one. I think, if we're being fair. Not sure they like how much a wasteland is worth here for them. Did you find it? Oh, they found wasteland. Okay. They know we have an Underground Sea in hand from that daze. Hopefully they don't also have like surgical extraction or some shit. Maybe I should have let on Thoughtseize. So I'm gonna think I'm supposed to take the Ponder and then Thoughtseize and take their Force of Will. We need to get this one open as well. And so we attack them down to 10, and they have an ethereal forger they can't cast. I do wonder if. Uh-oh, what's this? Petty theft. All right. I mean, so they get a surveil here. They get to attack me and not do anything else, and I get to replay the Dothy. So I think, I mean, we are getting time walked here. But they can't stop this Dothy. We know their hand, and this will keep the Dragontrace Chandler from becoming what we don't want it to become. So let's see. Preordain. Okay. They are going to find their bolt soon. They put Wasteland into their graveyard. Yeah, okay. I'm actually kind of pleased about that, truth be told. Let's see what they do with this Preordain top bottom. Okay. Okay, Ponder, sure. I need to auto yield to this. Okay, so they can't both find a land and a bolt here. What I would really love to do right now is actually draw. Oh, they don't shuffle. All right, cool. What I would really like to do is draw Shieldred. Not attacking us. They should be attacking. Oh, I suppose Brainstorm is. It's not the worst. Let's actually, So If Cabal Ritual resolves, then Street Wraith is going to resolve. If Cabal Ritual gets forced, we can. We were just gonna let it get forced. Then it's like a 2-for-1, which I think is okay. So let's see here. They could surgical our dazes and take away threshold. Okay, so they do force. Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, I was gonna say we could cycle Street Wraith, but then, you know, let's say we found Force of Will, what would that achieve? We wouldn't have our Street Wraith anymore. So they've missed 2 attacks with the Dragon Fairy Channeler. I could be at 12 here. It'd be interesting to see if that ends up mattering. They kept their Ponder, so I'm assuming they found a Bolt. Yeah, okay. That is fair and might end up, you know, being the deal breaker here. So they have 1 card. I don't know what it is. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully like a Force of Will or a land or something. If it's a land, then they can cast Brazen Borrower next turn. So let's see. We have 2 pretty good cards in our hand. Well, there's another Cabal Ritual. Surgical Extraction, targeting what? Targeting Dothy. Okay, actually, this is awesome. So they dropped to 5, and now we're going to be able to, free of charge, play a 3/4 Swamp Walk that can't get bolted, can't get fatal pushed, can't get snuffed out. Yeah. I mean, why? Sorry, I don't want to be the YouTuber that is like, why is my opponent playing differently or whatever. That's really, really unbecoming. I could point out, though, or what I wanted to point out was that I don't think. No, okay, fair enough. I was gonna say, why aren't they paying the mana? Like, it's not like they're needing to hold up mana for anything. But if they don't know I'm only on 2 dazes, so if they had, like, that's legitimate enough. Okay, but in either case, we get to make this play, and hopefully they don't like draw another petty theft. If they attack now, I'm not gonna block. I don't want to lose my win condition to a. I'm gonna play this out. I don't want to lose my win condition to a lightning bolt here. Okay, you're at 2. Yay, we got there. Sweet, 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 sweet. Always, like, I am so battle scarred from like losing so much to Delver that I'm always super stoked to beat Delver. All right, excellent. Good way to start off the league. Let's go for round number 2. On the draw for round number 2, going to mulligan this hand. Doesn't really have any cantrips or Doomsday. Yeah, I'll keep this. Probably ship the Street Wraith here. Yeah, that seems about right. So we can force pitch Ponder, and if we choose to go with the personal tutor here, okay, it's Moonstompy, my old nemesis. I think I'm gonna lead with Thoughtseize here. The next turn we can like ponder for a land and then personal tutor. But let's see. Okay, so next turn they can play Fable, and then at some point they can play Chandra, which deals 4 damage to creature, and exiles, deals damage to opponent. So nothing pleasant coming from Chandra. I think we're gonna take the Trinisphere. We're gonna take the Trinisphere, probably let Fable resolve, and then force Chandra, maybe. We could also force the Fable if we feel like this game is gonna go on for a while. But I think we need to hold on to this force and point it at something that actually stops what we're doing. So I mean, we go for personal tutor here. We find Doomsday. We're not really. I think I need to go pondering. Take 1 more turn off here. I don't know. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Let's see here. We take the LED, then we untap, take the Petal, then we personal tutor. In the meantime, they will make Chandra next turn. The question is if we get one more turn after that, because we need the Ponder to then win on the same turn. Ponder and the LED. We don't need the Petal, actually. But, I mean, we're going to get it because this snow-covered land is in an underground sea. No, we do need the Petal. What am I talking about? We need Petal to cast Ponder. Okay. Is this good enough, though? So we... Yeah, I think this is good enough. I mean, it might not be good enough, but it is at least a plan, which I think is as good as whatever we might get if we were to shuffle. Okay, let's see here. They probably at least get rid of one of the dens. Yeah. And they put an Ancient Tomb and draw 2 fresh cards. They attack us. We go to 15. If they make Chandra, which we can't force if we want to hold on to this Ponder, then Chandra deals either 2 or, you know, draws them a card that they can use, which we might then need to force. So let's just say Chandra deals us 2. We're at 13. We cast Personal Tutor. We pass a turn. We take 2 from Goblin, 2 from Chandra. So we're at 9. So that's not the issue. The issue is the cards coming out of this Chandra. Like any Chalice destroys us, any Moon Effect destroys us, another Trinisphere. The problem is, like, if I point Force at Chandra, then we're passing the turn with Doomsday. I think I let Chandra resolve. I think we're gonna lose this game, but well, yeah, we'll see. I don't think forcing Chandra and postponing Doomsday with one more turn is where we want to be at. Okay, Fury cannot be cast, so I take 2. I suppose it could have been worse. Okay, so let's grab a Doomsday and probably play out these 2 just in case somehow Chalice on 0 comes up. All right, so Fable is flipped. They up the Chandra. Come on, show us a land. Ancient Tomb, yes, please. They can play that, but then they lose their city. The Den, can that come alive now? Oh, maybe not. Okay, so they get their treasure. We're at 11. Please, nothing too scary. You have 5 cards. Is this Chalice? Or just tapping the Ancient Tomb and floating the mana? Trinisphere. Holy guacamole. So, like, if we had a Cycler in hand, we could beat the Trinisphere, but we don't. So we can't. So what happens here? I force, go to 8. Then I take 4, 6, go to 2. And have to hope to draw, like, that they don't do anything crazy, and then I draw exactly what I need to. I don't think I can... we can't beat the Trinisphere resolved, right? Because then we Doomsday pass, and we were just dead. So... we could hope to, like, cycle. Screw that. It's the same thing we're hoping for, but there's just not a Trinisphere in play this way. Like, hope to draw a Cycler. I'm really not having a good time versus Moon Zombie these days. Okay, so we draw Doomsday, we pass, we pray that they don't have anything else too insane, and that we then either draw like a blue cantrip or like an Edge of Autumn. It can't be Street Wraith anymore. Okay, there's Fury. All right, yeah, Den of the Bugbear. We're just dead. All right, so I forgot about the Bugbear, and so we want the Shouldrads. We want Force of Negation, I think. Or I mean, we do. And what do we cut here? Possibly a Duress. I don't really hate having discard on like turn 1 on the draw. Oh, sorry, on the play. We do need to cut to make some cuts. Maybe one Street Wraith. All right, let's go like this. Man, I'm getting smashed by a Moonstomp. Yeah, I was 4-0 in the previous league I played, and then faced Moonstomp in round 5. Took game 1 pretty easily, and then died to like turn 1 Magus of the Moon with Force of Negation rotting in my hand on both of the sideboarded games. Oh, holy crap, this is like almost insane. Like, we can double discard on turn 1, and then if we draw land, we can go Doomsday. We do have this useless Force of Negation. We don't have that many lands. We have 16 lands, I believe. And then like 4 Dark Rituals and Lotus Petal, so that's like 21 cards. So like more than 1/3. So more than like one every 2.5 cards should be a land or a mana source that we can use. But that means that like there's a bigger chance of us not drawing a land on the first draw than there is. So I'm gonna mulligan. Too bad. Yeah, okay. I'll keep this, and probably I'll send back the Cabal Ritual. Opponent keeps 7. Pleasant. Okay, I'm gonna ponder here. I would really like to find a Force of Will or a Doomsday. I don't want these cards. Okay, so looks like I might just once again lose to if they have like the turn 1 Magus or Blood Moon. They have a turn 1 play for sure. That's what this deck is all about. Okay. Double Chrome Mox. What's this? Rabble Master. Okay, I mean Rabble Master is a super fast clock, but doesn't lock us out in any discernible way. So we find this one. We would have actually been able to somewhat navigate a Magus. It's funny. Oh, come on. Daze seems completely useless. So does this second Underground Sea, I think. But we are drawing at least one of these with, even with the Consider. Okay, so what's the plan here? The plan is to not get locked out by something here. And then consider in the end step, draw the second Daze, I guess, and then find a Doomsday sitting underneath. Yeah, my hopes aren't too high here. Okay. And they have a Trinisphere, which I think just ends it. I'm not finding anything here. They can pay for double Daze. So Trinisphere is in. What would we have found? Well, so if I had brainstormed instead of considered, I would have. Yeah, maybe that was a lame duck play. Like, yeah, not having it. Is there anything that helps us here? Like, we brainstorm and then find Shieldred plus fetch land. The next turn we take 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 3 is 8, so we're at 5. Or like, I don't know, 4 if it's a fetch land. Yeah, I mean, let's brainstorm. It has to be either now or on their turn, like if we want to cast a spell next turn. Yeah, alright. GG's opponent, we are dead. Alright, round number 3 on the draw. This feels like a recurring theme here, Force of Will, but no blue card. But I'm gonna keep this potential turn 1 Doomsday. Let's see what we're up against. A Scalding Tarn strategy. So we can hardly just YOLO things here. Is this another? Oh, it's another Delver deck. Okay, blue card. Okay, that's a blue card. So like playing into a Daze plus a Force here would that's what we lose to sort of instantaneously. But I think this is worth going for now. Okay, looks like they've just F6'd. So that's sweet. So we want Thassa, we want Cavern. We're gonna take off one turn here. Like we're gonna let them do what they want now on their turn. Then we're gonna draw. And then we're going to pass again. That's what I'm getting at here. I think we'll be fine. It's a little bit iffy that we have to Street Wraith twice here. So that puts us at 6. And maybe we don't need to. Like, we could also Night's Whisper if they don't Wasteland us. They obviously didn't have the days this time. That draws like twice the cards that Street Wraith does. This is a slow pile. Actually, hang on. So, no, because we have the Street Wraith here, this lets us draw through the pile. What am I even thinking? So if we don't get Wastelanded here, we can win next turn. Granted, they don't like double bolt us. I don't even know. I don't think that would even be enough. Double bolt us plus. Yeah, actually no, it would. Double bolt would be enough because we'll be Street Wraithing twice. So we can force one. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so this way we put Cavern on the bottom. No, not Cavern on the bottom. Cavern needs to not go on the bottom for us to be able to edge twice. So we put Thassa, Cavern, Street Wraith, edge, and then that should do it. And if they Wasteland us, we have to put it off for 1 turn. That's 2 life we save from the Street Wraith that we don't need to use. So, I don't know. Should be good. Yeah, let's go like this. So, but yeah, so basically, like, Wasteland saves us 2 life, but costs us a turn. Okay, they don't have Wasteland. Do you have Double Bolt to make me a sad panda? Well, there's Bauble. Bauble lets them surveil, and they like what they see. Okay, I'm at 9. I am at an effective 5 for my 2 Street Wraiths, and I can force a a second Lightning Bolt, and if they don't have a force back, then yeah, we'll see. All right, they do seem somewhat F6'd here. I don't know. Oh no, I think they're playing around with this. So let's say Merfolk. Okay, never mind. They conceded. Sweet. All right, cool. So sideboarding here is going to be pretty much like it was against that Grixis Delver deck, which this may still be, like Grixis Delver. We didn't see a third color. I don't know about the Dothies, though. Actually, the Dothi was sick in the other game. So maybe I do want a couple of those. Let's cut the... I think actually cutting like this... Wait, what am I missing here? If I cut it like this, then I'm still left with the Night's Whisper. I do believe I cut that last game. Was that... Yeah, I think Dothy is maybe better than a Night's Whisper. I don't know. But this does take us down to that, suspiciously low blue count for force. Sometimes I even consider, like, if Mystical Dispute, it could put in a Shift versus Delver, counter a Murktide, what seems like pretty big upside, but then again, we're not playing Doomsday. We need 4 mana to cast Doomsday with Mystical Dispute as the disruption. I'm gonna keep. I'm not thrilled. Also, one thing that Dothy is not good with is like it disincentivizes you from fetching basic island basically ever, which is an issue here versus the Wasteland deck. Basic island off their own. Is this Delver? Bobble me. Soon we will both know what is currently on top of my deck. What's this? Oh, Shieldred. All right. Like, normally it's pretty incentivizing to play Brainstorm when they don't have red mana open for Blast, but we have so many Brainstorms. All right, this Dragon... Oh, what's this? Third Path Icono Dude. Okay. So this might be an issue for us. Does he get anything? He doesn't have prowess or anything. No, he just, like... So this is better than Young Pyromancer because it says non-creature spell, and Young Pyromancer says instant or sorcery, I believe. I can't remember. And this guy also, like, if you have Ursa Saga, then the artifact, there's synergy. Yeah. I think I'm gonna brainstorm now, just in case they have days. No need to give them a free 1/1. And I was sort of I'm free from Wasteland for this turn. Right. Not super stoked about this, not gonna lie. Do I believe I can beat this dude? I don't think Dothy beats him, but Shoulder It probably beats him. Okay, I'm not gonna daze. I'm gonna use my daze to power through a brainstorm on my turn if I need to. I'm gonna play this out. They haven't, oh, come on. I'm gonna put back Thassa and Daze and not loving where we are right now. Also not loving that they, oh, okay. Hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna brainstorm. If I can get any spell out of them, I'm gonna daze that spell. Okay, but I didn't, so I won't, so I'll concede. Yeah, we're not recovering from this. That was gross. And really gross that they saw our Shieldred. Fortunately, they didn't see Dothy, but I'm not sure, like, them having this kind of creature that doesn't care about the graveyard means Dothy is worth less, I think. Maybe Night's Whisper is better than the third Dothy then. I don't know. Yeah. Like, Dothy is great if what they have is, like, Murktide and Dragon's Rage Channeler. Which probably they have both of those. So I think, like, still having two Dothys is fine. But, yeah. But yeah, it was gross they saw Shoulder. I would rather have them not be aware of that. Okay. This is not great, but not terrible. Gonna play out the one Delta here. I'm not, like, it doesn't really matter because we have the second Delta, so we can still get Island and Swamp. Just for some reason, like, I feel better not having two of the same named cards in my hand. I'm not expecting, like, Sorcerer Spyglass or anything. Okay. So they're holding up Pyroblast, it seems. I'm gonna take my draw step here. Grief is not bad. Like, I think a resolved Shieldred on an empty board should be gigantic game for us. But we'll see about where we end up. Okay, I think I'm gonna cast Consider here. And then if they Pyroblasted, they Pyroblasted. So be it. I would like to get somewhere. This could let us cast Shoulder at this turn, but I mean, they're not gonna let it resolve. So I'm gonna put this into the graveyard. Cabal Ritual is, like, effectively the same card. Only this one. Ooh. Okay, sorry. I just got incredibly excited there for a second. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play out another land here so that we can next turn cast Cabal Ritual through a daze before revealing Cavern of Souls. Okay, I take a bolt here. That's fine. This also gives us a chance to draw draw a black card. I'm a little bit concerned that they might be able to, like, they brainstorm now, which it looks like they're gonna do. Oh, Surgical on Lotus Petal. Okay, so now they know what's up. Also, what am I even talking about? I don't need to resolve Cabal Ritual. Next turn, I can just, like, Grief, pitch Cabal Ritual, play Cavern, put in Shoulder It, and Bob's your uncle. So, they have 3 cards in the graveyard now. They're still a little bit of ways away from delving out something great, big here. So hopefully they aren't sitting on, like Brazen Borrower. They would need Brazen Borrower and Wasteland to, like, permanently deal with the Shieldred. And I'm going to Grief them next turn, so they also need to, like, counter that, I think. Well, there's Wasteland. Narset. I'm sorry, but I'm obviously, you know the daze. So I'm going to daze, because I don't think daze is going to be relevant anymore. Okay, yeah, they concede. All right, sweet, we got there. Good stuff. Cavern of Shieldred, I almost said. Cavern of Souls and Shieldred. Like peanut butter and jelly, right? All right, cool. On to round number 3. All right, round number 4, of course, not number 3. We're on the draw. This is certainly an interesting hand. It's a turn 1 Doomsday with no protection, but if I were to draw a black card, then it has protection. But then we're like exposing Cavern, so if they're like a Force of Will and Wasteland deck, I'm gonna keep this. I feel like saying I'm gonna keep it for science here. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, if only this personal tutor was a black card so I could pitch it to Grief. Well, we'll see. I mean, also just like if we get Thoughtseize here, it's not the best. Uh oh, Bloodstained Mire. Oh, pass the turn. That is a black card, so we're gonna get to goof off here, but we'll see what kind of stuff we're up against. Okay, Grief resolves. What do you have? Animate Dead, Shoulder It. Okay, yikes. Okay, so we can't allow Shoulder It to resolve, which also means we can't take Shoulder It because they have Animate Dead and Reanimate. So I think what instead we're going to do is take the Dark Ritual, and hopefully they don't draw another one because another dark ritual means they have Shoulder next turn. Honestly, we probably survive Shoulder. No, because we need to pass. We need to at least draw 2 cards. Like we need to draw. No, we need to draw 3 cards because we need to not like we need Thassa to resolve and win the game for us. Anyways, let's take the Dark Ritual and let's name Wizard here. I always name Wizard if I'm not like just about to win, just to throw them off the scent a little bit. I mean, they're gonna know what's up now, so it doesn't matter at all. So it makes no real sense, I suppose. All right, so they are going to, I believe, next turn play like reanimate our or animate dead our grief, and it doesn't matter which of the cards they take. So our issue is we can't win like on the same turn here. So I think what we need to do is draw Lion's Eye Diamond, and then we need to make our next draw Edge of Autumn, and then hope we're still alive. And then we can take, if they have Shouldered by then, that we can take the 4 damage it would be. Oh, or we could just sit here pensively while our opponent eventually concedes, either because they don't want to wait or because they actually think they can win from here. All right, cool. So what is this? Is this just regular Reanimator that has Shouldered in the main? Probably right. So Magic Online used to be bugged that sometimes when you quit the game, when the game ended, when someone had like their deck open, the other person would see their deck. So that might have just happened, but I don't know. All right, cool. Let's say that Force of Negation is really good, or at least decent, not really good, decent. Dauthi Voidwalker is slow but amazing once there, and Relic kind of the same. I don't want Shieldred versus Reanimator basically ever because they go like discard it, reanimate it. It's game over. So we don't need 2 Thassas. Notice how many times I board Thassa out. If you have anything clever to say about this and why this is wrong of me in some of these matchups, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. So let's board out personal tutors. I think we can shave a couple of cyclers. I really don't mind like grinding down the gears and going slowly versus them. I think we can cut the Petal. Although Petal is that like one shot. No, we have Ritual, so it's getting that one shot of having like a turn 1 Dauthi Voidwalker. And yeah, Night's Whisper I think is fine to cut. It's a little bit of a slow card. It's not bad though. I mean, it's that's actually also a card I've cut quite a few times in this league. So to keep or not to keep, like if this doesn't beat anything they do on turn 1. If they discard us, then this hand becomes quite embarrassing. So what we need them to do is not discard us and not kill us on turn 1. I think that's maybe a little bit much to ask because, like, even if all quotation marks they can do is like entomb on turn 1, then that still beats this. Okay, I'll keep this. It is like at least it has like duress. If they go discard our Dauthi, at least we have duress. Okay, they mulligan to 5. I suppose there are limits to how much they can do with 5 cards, but I don't think the limit is, you know, not kill us. I think they can still quite reasonably win with 5 cards, just not maybe by discarding us first. Oh, they pass. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so there's also interesting tension here between, like, if this was Thoughtseize, I would absolutely 100% Thoughtseize for last in case we find them with a fatty in hand. But I still think I'm probably gonna do that. I don't think, like, they might have some weird sideboard Duke. Hey, imagine if they had like Helm of Obedience, and we got to. I guess we would lose our Dothy to cast it. So yeah, never mind. Well, they're pausing here, so maybe they have like Entomb, but then you kind of think they probably cast it before we draw the card for the turn. Like, casting Entomb on your opponent's upkeep is obviously like a legit play because it means that they don't necessarily. Oh, they had the Entomb. Bummer. Right. Okay. Whatever. So there's Gristlebrand. So we'll never know if they would have cast the Entomb. Serenity. Okay, cool. Yeah, we take the Animate dead, and we're basically dead to any of their like remaining 11 or however many it is reanimation targets. Oh, actually, hang on. Hang the fuck on. I'm an idiot. Okay, are you ready? Sacrifice. Cast. Target Gristlebrand. Skadoosh! Alright. I mean, I think I'm just going to draw some cards here. Oh! Yes. I almost missed that. Oh, that was dumb. I was like, oh man, I'm going to lose to them top decking a discard spell. Well, they had the one turn to do it though. Alright, sweet. Positive record ensured. Let's see how we do for the final round. All right, on the draw for the final round. Think I'm. This hand is, again, like it's the second time I think I have a trips brainstorms here. This is obviously not great, but I think I'm gonna keep. I don't think this is bad enough to send away, and brainstorm can do a lot of work. Oh, it's 8 cast. Please don't chalice me. Okay, Emery. Emery is a long-term problem here. Well, that's at least the force of will that's not in their hand. Think, like, they are going to be drawing extra cards now every turn with the baubles and Emery, but I don't think I want to spew off this brainstorm sort of completely in desperation. They have, I think, 4 force of wills main deck, and then 4 chalices. What's this? Thoughtcast, sure. So I mean, we have one answer to. We can answer 1 force of will here, and they're currently not presenting any clock on us. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle here. I'm gonna shuffle anyways, and that's one piece of information they don't know about. Okay, I'm gonna chance it with the brainstorm here and really hope the spike will land. How about that? All right, so I'm gonna. I am going to put back, I think, Cabal Ritual and Brainstorm, and then I'm gonna personal tutor for Doomsday and hope I don't get. Oh, that was dumb actually. I should have kept the second ritual to be able to ritual and Thoughtseize. Or if we get lucky, they force here and we have it live days. So I mean, at any point in time, they can like start. If they start putting pressure on us, it's pretty bad. And if they have like a chalice, then that's also pretty catastrophic. Ugh. For the time being, they're just like gorging on drawing cards here. Oh, I was gonna say it's chalice. No, but it's spellbomb. Okay, that means we can't like go off half-heartedly. And now there is a clock in a couple of turns. Come on, just not chalice. Okay, we get a turn here. So I'm gonna probably brainstorm again. If they were to force here. Oh, okay, lovely. Lovely. Let's put back a ponder and a land. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. And so let's Let's thought seize them here. Bobble us to see if. Oh, they have double force. Yikes. Well, and they aren't gonna tap out next turn because they're gonna want to hold up mana for to put a construct into play. So we are gonna need some help from the top of our deck, like say a Force of Will. Force of Will would just be the sickest draw for us now. There's a bauble they didn't have before, and they choose another bauble. Yep. Draw all the cards. Okay, so they've, like, with no manipulating of their deck, except just, like, drawing cards, they have seen 3 Force of Wills in their top 19 cards, so that's a little rough. What's this? Knight's Whisper. Can we even, like, afford to do this? Let's see here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts. Emery gets 5. Construct is 6. Other construct is 7. Whatever they get is 8. So they'll have an 8/8. So if we're at 14, we'll be at 6. So that's or they can probably even play like another, like a Thought Monitor, make it a 9/9. Maybe. I think though the Knight's Whisper is still fine. Like, ideally this draws a force. I'm not expecting that. All right, well, we'll pass here. Hope we're not like super critically dead. Let's see. I think this is a matchup where I actually kind of dig having Dothy because it's an Ancient Tomb matchup, so they're going to be dealing damage to themselves. It's also, like we see with Emery here, it is a matchup that cares about the graveyard. Okay, Sai is not the scariest Thought Monitor. Okay, they also didn't make a second construct. Okay, they prioritized this way. That's fair. So they have an 8/8 right now. Is it gonna grow? Yeah, it's gonna become a 10/10. Oh, yikes. So they just need to cast like 2 more artifacts. Yep. I'm at effectively 2 right now. 1 more artifact and I'm dead. And they had it. Okay. All right. I also like that Dothy kind of sidesteps Chalice. So like if they prioritize a hand with Chalice, that's pretty good. I think the Mystical Disputes are really good. I think Dothy is good at least, maybe even very good. And I think Shieldred is pretty gas. Let's bring out the Personal Tutors, probably the LED and Consider. Although now I'm like getting to a point where, yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure if I'm sideboarding correctly here. Maybe like having the Consider is okay, just as a blue card that cantrips. And like maybe, I don't know, like 1 Force of Negation is also fine. Okay, let's try this. Oh no, shoot, I submitted 61 cards. Ah, come on. I didn't mean to. I just got confused, is all. Alright, 61 Doomsday. I mean, they have 8 forces, so the chances of them not having like a turn 1 force is pretty... force in their opening seems pretty low. They mulligan to 6. So, they mulligan to 5, okay. Okay, I am actually, you know what, I'm going to put them to 3 cards in hand if they have the force. Because we have a second Doomsday, we just need to spike another land. And this, like, not doing anything here and them having, like, a turn 1 Chalice is just, like, terrible. So, hopefully they don't also have, like, a Surgical, but I don't mind the 2 for 2 here. My hand is still pretty decent, I think. Okay. So they... Oh, Flusterstorm, that's good to know about. So, Saga. Saga is kind of scary, okay. But, okay. So they just need 1 more mana. No, they don't have... This isn't like activated yet. All right, let's ponder here. I mean, these are all decent enough, but so I think I'll probably take the Consider. and use it on their turn um, as like a scry of sorts. And if we need to cast this Mystical Dispute in between, then so be it. Oh, really? You're not getting the thing? Not getting a construct here? Not even getting one construct. That's a sad Urza Saga. Unfortunately, they can still get like Aether Spellbomb to bounce Sholdred. You know what? I'm actually gonna take this. Love to draw land here. Brainstorm. Let's draw this. This game feels sort of in the balance here. I wonder what they get. Like a Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal lets them Chalice, then lose 2 mana sources. Okay, do they just get Bobbled to have active? They had Lotus Petal, okay. Well, our shields are down here. We can't, like, fight. Oh, that's kind of bad. They get to undo their mulligan. Well, at least, like, Emery is not going to come down and do stuff. And if I get to untap here, I have Mystical Dispute. Land? Okay. Urza's Bauble. Mishra's Bauble. So Urza's Bauble shows them Brainstorm. Yeah, that's fine. We could draw 2 with their Thoughtcast, or play like an Urza's Saga. That's pretty hot. Urza's Saga gets us our Petal and like 2 3/3s. That's probably a bit too cute. Because like they just need to draw an Urza Saga of their own, then we can't tangle with them. Thoughtcast is not crazy though. I am gonna attack here. Like this Mystical Dispute is looking pretty nice. I might just cycle the Street Wraith though, see if we can find a land. So tempting. Okay, we find Force. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is looking pretty good. Urza Saga is the most scary card from them right now, I think. This Chalice. Sai. So Sai puts in a blocker. No, Sai can't. And then this, they don't get to block Dothi. Sai does maybe eventually run away with things. Maybe I'm just okay. Like, because Mystical Dispute right now is on either Sai or Force of Will duty. I think because Emery doesn't really matter with the Dothi in play. They force. Yeah, okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let Sai resolve their force. Okay, I'm going to start off with a Brainstorm here. So we can, next turn we can either like cast Doomsday or cast Sholdred. We're going to put back 2 Doomsdays. And I think we just cast Doomsday because then with Dothi we can cast their Thoughtcast. And since we already have the Cavern of Souls, that just wins it. Unless I boarded out my Petal. I don't think I did. Boarded out LED, but not. Okay, so they have 3 cards. I mean, obviously that whole plan kind of falls apart if they have. Oh, really? They're actually gonna Chalice for 0 and never cast another Bauble again. I suppose I'll just cast Shoulder then. What's this? Chalice for 2. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. So we won't cast any more Dothis. But guess what? You're not gonna beat Shoulder. Are we gonna do what I want? What? But yeah, because like the Chalice on 0 means that we can't play out Cavern and then like Thoughtcast into Cycler plus Thassa and then cycle into the Petal. So maybe it's a little bit annoying showing them our whole sideboard Duke here, but I mean Sheoldred is pretty much a known commodity by now. I should have named Wizard here or Merfolk. They don't have any mana. Sorry, any cards in the hand, so there's no need to make this uncounterable. And that would allow me to cast Thassa through the. Okay, looks like they concede. I don't know why, or my client's just lagging out. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, that was not necessary. Okay. Is there any? It's like I don't know how much they have to like battle creatures with. But obviously, like when you do this sort of switcheroo, you do kind of want to then maybe resolve your other the other part of your deck next. So like if I could get like a turn one Doomsday, it would be quite amazing. Gonna bring out a Force of Negation here. I remember there was a point in time where I really liked having Sheldog Isle and Emrakul versus this deck, but I think it was a point in time when they were playing like Torpor Orb. That might have been like for a brief period. As it is, I think like just Doomsday and then win with Thassa is just as good, probably even better. Is there any? Maybe we want like one, like want the LED just in case we get to a point where we can win on the same turn and can't afford to wait, or if we like get a busted opening hand and we can like grief them and see the coast is clear. All right, let's see. Final round, final match of the final round. Yeah, this is a mulligan. This sort of mono one drop hand, one drop tribal. Just lose every day of the week to Chalice. Let's see what our opponent ends up doing. Opponent keeps 7. Have to mulligan this, unfortunately. Alright, let's keep this. And let's bottom a land and a Thoughtseize. Or is it Brainstorm? I think it's Brainstorm. I think there was a world where where Thoughtseize might like dig us out from this hole here. Although Thoughtseize dealing us 2 is a little bit not great if because what we're kind of signing up for with this hand is like a damage race, I suppose. But yeah, beggars can't be choosers and all that. I mean, it's mulligan to 5, so what are you gonna do? Don't show the Dothy. Okay, they see Lotus Petal. And they're passing. Okay. In that case, I think I'm gonna Thoughtseize here because this just screams to high heaven that they have like a force effect. It needs to be force of will though. But if our Dothy is like countered, we have nothing basically. So I'm kind of concerned that they're gonna have like an Ursa Saga here, but we can't really like. In that case, if they have Ursa Saga and not force, oh bummer, they had force of negation. Okay. What's the better take here? I think it's probably Thoughtcast. Yeah, I should have gone for it. Oh, that was so bad. There's the Saga. Saga is easily going to race the Dothy. They drew Mox Opal. Okay, sure. So I think Shieldred now pretty much becomes my best draw. Yeah, and then them not having like. So I'm gonna play this out actually. Them not having like Ancient Tomb, but having like non-damage mana or lands, and me having to Thoughtseize is yeah, it's not great. Okay, there's the second seat. So we need to beat like a couple of 5/5s with our 3/2. It doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. It's gonna be a couple of 6/6s actually at least. I think I'm probably gonna fetch here just in case they get cute. And we saw Pithing Needle and that was game 1 actually, so might not have it anymore, but okay, so now Doomsday is off. We need to, I don't know, we need to like brainstorm and win through a thing. Yeah. Boo. Yep, they have lethal. GG's opponent. Oh well, 3-2. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles at times. Alright, so let's break this down. I still feel like this deck is like decently positioned, and I think it's pretty well built. There's definitely room to like fidget around and make like choices about like, do you want the 4th personal tutor, or do you want a different combination of Lotus Petal and Cabal Ritual, your Disruption Suite and all that. Sometimes I feel like 3 days is closer to what I would want to play. I think the mana base is pretty sweet. I do like having the basics. Ironically, I like it more like versus Wasteland decks than versus Blood Moon decks. Like I keep losing to Blood Moon because it's just yeah, I don't know. It's like they usually are able to do like turn one Blood Moon, and that you can only at most have one of your basics out, and you kind of want both. Like I said during the round, I'm quite unsure about this second Thassa. Like I don't think like so you can pitch a Thassa to Force of Will is like is a good enough argument for me. I don't like it's an argument. It's not incorrect or anything. I just don't feel like it weighs enough for it for you to really like for it to outshine what it means to have another like really bad card in your deck. So it's not for that reason for me at least. It's for a little bit for that reason, but then it would mostly be for the reason of being able to play through endurance. And I just feel like once, like I said during the league, like once you get post board, you have better tools to play around endurance, like either Relic or out of the blue decks you can use Emrakul and Shelldock. And I think like a lot of the time, if you're building a pile with two oracles, you're giving your opponent a lot of time. So it's like, well, so you could potentially beat a dress down or an endurance, but it means you, you're passing more times. You need to like not they need to not have a clock on you, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I know there are some people who have really good experiences with it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Regarding the sideboard, I don't know. It feels like sometimes it feels like two shoulder it's too many, and sometimes it feels like one shoulder it too few. If that makes sense. I also like. I would really like to have a better plan versus stompy decks. I feel like probably the archetype I'm weakest against that is like weighed up against how relevant it is and how represented it is probably stompy. Like we beat the two Delver decks we played today. I still think Delver is favored versus Doomsday, but I think Delver is not that represented, and I just feel like Stompy decks are just like such a pain in the butt to play against, um, and with the Mulligan rule being the way it is and stuff, I just feel like they are very consistently threatening something cataclysmic on turn one that you need to answer, and that's why we have the four force of negation. But like I said, like I lost my 5-0 with like two games in a row where a force of negation rotted in my hand while my opponent like played out a Magus of the Moon. So like Magus not like or this card not stopping a Magus, not stopping the wide initiative thing or any of the wide initiative like disruptive creatures is pretty bad. Yeah, well, I mean, it's still good. It's nice to be able to take a Blood Moon or a Trinisphere, but it just doesn't feel, honestly, it doesn't feel like quite enough. So I'm not sure how that can really be tackled, or if I need to tackle it, really. Maybe it's fine. I mean, it's not like you face Blood Moon or like Moon Stompy every league or anything, but yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think. Let me know what kind of Doomsday you're playing right now, and I will be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.